So we are back in the studio, and it's 2024. Now, last year, 2023, conversations were ongoing as to how the economy has been. We know that in the year 2020, the world was hit by a pandemic. A lot of countries were hugely affected. Now, Ghana was hugely or massively affected than most countries out there. We actually experienced an economic quagmire, trying to get ourselves out of it. At a point in time, there were some officials or some members of parliament who were calling on the president to let the finance minister go. We went all the way to IMF to secure some loans that could help us back on our feet. We're also told by the government that we are turning corners around and things are getting better. We have celebrated the festive season. The corners are turning. Are they turning or they are not turning? Well, I should ask you that question. Now, the year 2024 is election year, and we're asking ourselves, NPP, NDC, PNC, and other political parties, which party will be the best? Let's not forget that there was a rise of the Afro-Franton movement for change. That is also there, very powerful. And one will say that we cannot rule that particular movement out. Now, today, I am sitting with the Deputy General Secretary for the NDC, Mustapha Gbande, to talk to us about what they have for 2024, how they are combining Christianity and politics, how they are going to sell their policies to us, and how they will hopefully turn things around, as they say they can. Good morning, Mustapha Gbande.
Good morning, Rose.
How are you today?
I'm very good, refreshed. It's good to be in the new year.
It's good to have you.
Thank you very much.
NDC, how is NDC?
NDC is solid, and we have transitioned 2023 by the grace of God into the new year. We bring New Year greetings on behalf of the National Chairman and the General Secretary to all Ghanaians and your crew. The NDC is positioned and going to be used as a vehicle that will change destinies, a vehicle that will restore hope to the people of Ghana, a vehicle that will bring some order in our system, in our governance system. Like the president said, the NDC did not claim to perfection, but records have shown that our existence and building our democracy as a country, the NDC have been a bigger, major stakeholder in that business. And we have seen what other governments have done. We will not depart from what we know. We know that things are very difficult, but we also look at things that could have been avoided if principles, values were anchored in governance. And so that is what the NDC stands to do in this new year. It's going to be holding government to the highest order of accountability. It's going to be working with the people of this country to remove Akufo-Addo and his government out of power democratically. Because people, irrespective of the difficulties they find themselves, still believe that the election system of Ghana is the only means that they can correct their electoral wrongs. And we in the NDC stand by that principle. And so we are going to be working with Ghanaians, organizing from the base and making sure that democratically we reverse the trend, we reverse the mistakes. Democratically, we say enough of corruption, enough of publicly stealing Ghanaians' money, enough of ego, enough of arrogance of politicians.
Thou sayest NDC.
Say that again?
Thou sayest NDC.
That says the National Democratic Congress.
How was your 31st night, though?
It was very refreshing. I was happy.
Church?
Yes, I was in church.
Okay.
Unfortunately or fortunately, I got the Vice President of Ghana was there, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was there. But what is very refreshing to note is that my president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, joined a church service in Tamale, and he was there with his wife. And so yesterday, Dr. Mahmoud was at my church, Action Chapel, where he indicated he was a visitor. And I was like, okay. It's good for visitors to come to church. It's good for leaders to visit church. But belief systems are very important when you go into sanctuaries to worship. Belief systems are very different and very fundamental to the principles of the individuals.
But that's for politicians. Let me. So, Mustapha Gbande, you're a politician and you're a Christian. I'm wondering how, because, politicians, quote unquote, you guys, you know how to woo people a lot.
I've never seen myself as a politician.
You haven't?
No.
So what are you?
I see myself as a nobody who God is making somebody.
Yeah, but you're still
God
a politician.
brought me from someplace, spoke to people in a political party to give me responsibility on behalf of the people of Ghana. And that responsibility, I believe, must be discharged, taking into cognizance my religious beliefs.
Were you on the ballot sheet?
I was.
Yeah, so you're a politician.
I spoke spiritually. I spoke my mind. I spoke the reality to the people. And so it is not true that politicians know how to woo people. The tongue is very important, but also God has given us a caution over what a tongue can do. And so it is for us to examine people and actually put into context whether or not what they say reflect our
So as a Christian, as a Christian, if you don't, let's roughly say, you promise to give, the people a better life, but you're not able to give the better life, how do you feel? Do you feel you've lied to the people?
You have not.
Do you feel guilty?
You have not only broken the trust of the people. It's a sin. It's a sin because the country is God's own, but he placed people in it. And in this country, he will definitely place leaders who drive visions, who drives hopes, and who reflect faith. Now, when you are a politician, one thing you must know is that you are doing ministry. Your ministry has a connection with God that beholds on you to be truthful and honest. And so when you tell the people that they have gone to church and prayed and paid tithes, they want to run their businesses only to be met with corruption, then you don't look for Satan anywhere in your prayer. That individual who stopped your business from functioning is Satan. When you are a graduate, and whilst you are in school, some people will have to do many things to be able to pay their school fees. It's not, most people don't get the opportunity to be paid school fees by their parents. And so they struggle to get through this level, hoping that after praying and fasting, a politician placed by God in position will create an opportunity for him to grow. And that politician decides to be nepotistic, decide to prioritize people who are not fit to be there. There is no scheme that rewards the graduates of the country, and that you must know a politician to be able to get a job.
But hasn't it been like that from time memorial?
That is why God is raising a generation that should speak against the nonsense and foolishness that comes with politics.
So that's with both political parties? All political parties?
Both political parties, all governments, but we are in a period where a generation should rise up against certain unconcern, whereas our destiny is being shortchanged.
So God called you into politics, is that
yes,
what it is?
I believe so.
You dreamt about it?
It has always been part of me since student politics. I've always been a non-conformist leader. I am somebody who confronts things the way they are supposed to be. I don't manage wrongs are wrongs. And when they are wrongs, it has to come with some level of punishment, some level of order. That's what I believe in. And so when you have these strong tendencies in leadership where you do not fleece with the people to get their attention and all of that, usually if you are not backed by God, you wouldn't be here. And I also believe that when I was going to run for this position, I prayed. And God told me, go. And he made it possible. And so I believe that if you are given the opportunity to lead, you must guide yourself with the fear of the Lord first and foremost. You must not be inconsistent with the values of religion, values of God, and want to be consistent with the principles of men. If you lose God's favor, you cannot get the favor of men. And
so as a politician, you're always on the road. Yeah. You, like I said, whether we like it or not, you're trying to woo people to vote for you. How do you combine Christianity, where you ought to be dedicated to the work of God, and politics?
I combine
because you politicians, you insult a lot. You insult a lot.
Well, I don't insult.
Really?
I speak to the issues. And no matter how the issues are not sweet to your ears, I will say them and take responsibility for it. Because I believe it's wrong. If my attention is drawn to the fact that what I have said is wrong, I'll take responsibility and do the right thing. But when I believe it is wrong, I'll say it. For example, if you have a government who came at the back of high hopes, who came at the back of promises that attract the attention, not just ordinary attention, destiny-driven attentions. People thinking that, oh, okay, so government says, I'm coming to do one district, one factory, one village, one dam. Bravo, I'll get a job. My constituency will get a factory. And people trust in this system only to realize that it was fraud. There is no sin that is comparable to that fraud against the people of Ghana. And we should be able to boldly speak against that wrong. That's why I always say that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, yesterday when he was sitting at church, I was watching him and I was praying. He's a brother. But unfortunately, he's been used for the wrong reasons.
Who used him?
The current president, Akufo-Addo, and his, gang, and you cannot take the finance minister out of this.
How did they use him?
Bawumia must account to every Ghanaian what happened to the one district, one factory, what happened to the one village, one dam. It is very shocking when we wake up at the back of these hopes and government go to rebrand foreign companies that have been in existence as companies that have enrolled to one district,
Mustapha,
one factory.
As the viewers are watching, one thing the viewers will say is that it's with both political parties, the NDC, the NPP. Look at the NDC, where your green book, and there were roads in the green books that had been supposedly constructed, but they were not. So, it's more or less like everybody say something just to make Ghanaians happy and Ghanaians will vote for them. Isn't that what
Honestly speaking, I haven't come across, I'm not good when it comes to speaking about economic issues. I'm not good at that. But I haven't come in contact with anything that was contained in a green book of the NDC that was not executed. I have not. If any day I become aware of that, I'm sure that we'll speak against it. But I'm sitting here, and I know that a government came and told the people that I'll construct dams. Rosalind, do you know the importance of dams in our economy? We import tomatoes from Burkina Faso. We import onions from Burkina Faso. If we construct dams in the villages, I'm sure you and I would have left Accra to go and farm because it's so lucrative. You have 24-hour water running into your farm, only to realize that it was fraud and monies were taken from the World Bank. The vice president, who wants to be a president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, should account to Ghanaians what happened to the one village, one dam. This is not politics. This is religion. When people are not consistent with value systems, when people are not consistent with virtues, and they can publicly lie, if you lose your parents at a hospital when you are helpless, you cannot afford to pay hospital bills, you will know that politics is linked to religion, that people watch their parents die because you go to hospital and we don't have doctors. Today, doctors are fleeing out of the country. Check the embassies. Our nurses are leaving. But when you leave the confines and boundaries of Accra, you are headed towards major parts of this country that are cut out from the facilities of Accra. And so my village, where a pregnant woman would have to deliver, but there is a cheap compound. That is religion.
So now we come into the year 2024, which is supposed to be an election year. On the 7th of December, we go to the polls. There's a third force, which Ghanaians are calling on the third force, because Ghanaians are saying the NDC say the same story, and, we vote them into power. Same thing. NDC, MPP tell us they'll give us ABCD, same thing. So a third force probably is what Ghanaians need for now. So what is NDC's selling point in 2024?
Let me say this. The NDC and the MPP are not bad political parties. It has to do with leadership style and the caliber of people you surround yourself with. So when we were in power in 2016, thereabout, we didn't have everything smooth. We had our own challenges as a government. Here you come, your president given power to manage the country, decide to appoint his brothers into offices. Who does that? That's the most abusive form of power. What is even worse is that Ghanaians are saying that, look, your brother you've placed there is incompetent. The recent investigation by Manasseh Azuri on SML is enough for the president to say, enough, let me remove my brother. The president says, I don't care.
Mustapha, what's 2024?
So the NDC's position and what is new is consistency. I know that my president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is a Christian. I know that people think he's gentle, but I see him as a compassionate leader, a leader who feels it when people are crying, a leader who rather embrace you other than hurt you. That is who I know my president and the former president to be. That's the kind of leader we are bringing to Ghanaians. Now, you must also watch the foundation on which a government is going to build to be able to follow that government. If you look at the MPP today, the party is in cracks. As we speak, Alpha Franto is born out of the MPP. Kennedy Japan's version, we don't know what it stands, but Kennedy would definitely not support the next system of the MPP.
You don't know that for sure.
He said it there. The many things he said about this government, the many things he said about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he will not reverse it.
Let me ask you this. You're a very young man and a Christian. How did you get into the NDC and how did you rise to this level? Deputy General Secretary for the party.
I've served. I've been serving. I've served, and I believe that it was God's time. When you make yourself available to God, He uses you. And Feli, you are sitting on the set. Many people have come and gone. It is your time to make history. You must write that history well. I want to be part of the generation that says no. It doesn't matter whether you are MPP, you are NDC. Corruption should not happen. If we allow one man to steal $5 million of what belongs to the state.
Mustapha, let me put you on a hold because your party leaders, they are intermally to support Faila as she's trying to break the world record for the person to cook for the longest hours. Take a look at what Honorable Haruna Idru is saying. So it's full support for Faila in the north, actually. I'm so proud of her. I don't know. But I'm excited that this young lady is trying to break the world record. In 2023, 2 people broke the record, but I'm hoping she'll be able to set a record that will take the next 10 years or probably 50 years before somebody else can break it. So go Faila, go Faila, go. And that's Honorable Haruna Idru, who is there to give her his full support. I'm still here with Mustapha Gbande, who is the Deputy General Secretary for the NDC, and he's telling us how he rose all the way there, because he's a young man. How old are you?
I'm very young enough, but I'm old enough to know what seasons have brought and what seasons have taken. I am inspired to know that in the Bible, God curses nations with disease and hunger. But Ghana is not certainly cursed. Ghana is experiencing bad leadership, a bad political generation, and that generation must face out. That when you are put in a political office, you should be concerned about how you resolve the less privileged crisis. Common hospital issues, road issues, food issues, and making sure you put your people first. And so any day the NDC does what these people are doing, we'll talk about it boldly and widely. But I don't think that the NDC would have, the flag bearer have consistently indicated that if we are coming to power to repeat what Nanado and his people, President Nanado and his appointees are doing, there is no point coming into power.
So what's new for the NDC?
What is new is that the NDC knows how to construct.
So 2024?
We are coming into government. 2024
What's the strategy?
would be, no, we will hold government accountable.
Oh, that's a strategy.
We will play back government's failed promises to Ghanaian. We will play back the inconsistencies. So when I see leaders jumping from church to church, when at the backside of leaving the church is corruption, I find it very offensive.
We will hear it, but the question is, when are we hearing the announcement for the running mate for your flag bearer?
Well, flag bearer is in existence. Look, the NDC today is so formidable, so attractive, that with or without a running mate, we win election. It is Ghanaians who are calling for a change. They are certainly the people who give the mandate. Ghanaians say that enough. We don't need this corruption. We don't need this family affair. We don't need this stealing. We need a new government. The man they know, the man they will hold responsible is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC as a political party.
And who will the running mate be? Okay, maybe I don't want to ask you who it will be.
No, I'll say it.
You say who the
yes,
running mate
I'll
be?
tell you, yes.
Okay.
Many people have been groomed for a time like this. They have shown interest. Lobbying is a period. They are lobbying, they are engaging. But when you lobby, you come to a position where people must select and people must agree that they must balance region, they must balance experience, they must balance the person's experience that he brings to the table, his width, to be able to help the president. Because don't forget, the vice president is the closest to the president. That is why Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can never exonerate himself from the ills of President Akufo-Addo.
Are we going to mention that?
So the time will come when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the man that Ghanaians are going to trust as the president, to choose one person. And we in the NDC will rally around him and will get Ghanaians to rally around that individual to support the flag bearer, to bring the NDC into government.
Name?
The individual will come.
Okay, the name is not out yet.
I would have loved that.
To mention, but not yet.
No, I would have loved to be named as a running mate.
But you are not in there.
But I'm not in there.
Okay.
Who told you? When the time comes, it's like...
how many people are this man looking at?
A lot, including myself.
Including yourself. So you're like, what, probably like 5 in number?
We are more.
More.
But
how many women in there?
There are a lot of women in there.
Mustapha Gbande, you are being smart.
No, I'm just saying that I would have loved to be a running mate because I believe that we need a young energy to put some fire in the system. But perhaps elders may say that we need some other persons because of, 1, perhaps regional balance, 2, because of experience. You must also look at compatibility. So all of these things has been calculated. Don't forget that when you give people power, you hold them responsible. So you must give the flag bearer the opportunity to round himself with people who can deliver his mandate.
All right.
And when the time comes, a running mate, a competent one that the NDC, first of all, trust can help the flag bearer, will be named.
All right.
And you will be happy.
Mustapha Gbande, thank you so much for being here and having a conversation with us on the very first day of the year.
Feli, you know...
Anything new?
Before I go...
Yes, tell us.
Let me thank Ghanaians on behalf of our party for the trust, the confidence that they have in us. I would like to assure that the NDC, no matter what comes, would win any transparent elections in this country because Ghanaians have said so. I can assure you that we will not come to government to repeat 10% of what these people are doing. It's about reconstructing the foundation of our country. It's about putting hopes in the lives of people. It's about putting systems in place that will ensure that, Feli, you, a businesswoman, should strive without a political influence. Putting a table, a platform where every Ghanaian who is hardworking can prosper. And so that is what we are looking forward to see in 2024. We wish Ghanaians certainly a happy new year, that God will bless our year and He will bless the works of our hands. Whatever we are doing, irrespective of the fact that we have a very non-performing government, God can still make a new thing in our lives. Happy New Year.
Many happy returns, Mustapha Gbande. We are super grateful that you made time here.
Thank you very much.
And we are still here. It's still all about Prime Morning.
But I invite you to come and join the NDC.
Who?
Yourself. I mean, we are recruiting. Many people are desiring to join. We are starting a new membership drive next week to register new people. And so I invite you to join the NDC. We need people like yourself. Just don't sit on set and do the business of journalism. Also, be interested in helping leadership to build your country. Because Ghana is in a huge problem. I'm telling you for a fact. His Excellency Danado and his people have destroyed the fiber of this nation, and we need to construct it. So I throw you an invitation, and all the people here, to come and join the NDC to make a history for our nation.
Gbande, you have finished me on TV. Hey, the first time we spoke, you did this. Today you've done it. Anyway, it's a new year. So for you who just tuned in, it's still about Prime Morning. And today is definitely like, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's a fantastic Prime Morning. See my outfit. And I've been having a conversation with Mustapha Gbande, who is the Deputy General Secretary for the NDC. Now, he's combining Christianity and politics, and he's saying that if the NDC should take over, they are going bang, 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 with religion, where they'll make sure that they don't promise and fail. Because as a Christian, you can't lie. As a Muslim, you can't lie. So no promise and fail. Anyway, so we have a lot of people sending in messages this morning. Yes, we know you are loving the show. Let me get my things ready so I can move to the camera. Move to the screen. It's not easy. You're wearing a Mercy dress today. Today I am doing a Mercy. I'm going to read messages. Okay, so we have our messages coming in. Let me start with this very first one. Good morning, I'm James. I'm really enjoying your show. Being a graduate without a job is not easy. It's a time for the youth of Ghana to rise up. Hashtag create jobs for the youth. Hashtag employ the youth because we are hungry. 2024 is definitely going to be good, so don't worry at all, okay? Everything will be fine. Alaji Hamza Pig Farm. Good morning, Rosalind. Wish you a happy new year. Oh, happy new year, Alaji Hamza. You look gorgeous in your outfit. Thank you. Please, it's by Unicorn Masquerade. Truth be told, Mustapha has spoken the minds of a lot of Ghanaians this morning. I'm particularly sad and my heart bleeds for this country. Rosalind, just take a look at the building of the cathedral. $400 million of the poor taxpayers' monies to build a cathedral. As we speak, take a look at the stage of the cathedral with all the monies we spent. What we have today is the biggest hole in Africa. We turn around and say we are doing all this in the name of God. Who does that? The future of Ghana in the hands of NPP is pregnant. God have mercy.